What's up, bro? Skinall here, Bulls on Wall Street. A little bit of a volatile day in the markets. It's only up about 0.5%, but we had some good range, both up and down on all the indexes. All you can ask for. We are still in just a stage, 10 bull market. The uptrend is intact. We're still hanging out over the EMAs. Not much to say on the indexes except the grind higher continues. If you look at the SPY, similar, right? As we came out of this consolidation, we're just trending higher. And so there's not too much to think about the market. Like, I wouldn't get too cute with it. Right now, the trend is up. There's both good range to the upside and downside. And, we just got to capture on it. And you can see here, now that the IWM has done, come out of this big zone, we're starting to get a broad-based participation in many other types of names. And you saw that with stocks like UPST, right? Which is like, these are like kind of the quintessential, right, IWM type names. You're starting to see all these remounts over the 200-day moving average. And so we've got this broad-based, run in the markets currently. And we haven't had that for a while. If you look at market breadth, which is your T2108 indicator, we had 32% of stocks over the 40-day PMA. Now we're at 62 in just a handful of days, right? So we've doubled market breadth. If you look at the percentage of stocks over the 200-day moving average, right? Big drop, big move. And then if you look at how many breakouts we have, look at the increase in breakouts versus breakdowns here, right? So we've had 3 days of what we call a breadth thrust. A breadth thrust is when, right, the breakouts start to increase and breadth starts to increase. We're seeing that. So, at this moment, we are just in a very awesome spot where you can take some chances in the market. Now, be careful for tomorrow. The IWM is on day 4 of the move. If it gaps up tomorrow, it's probably gonna, pull a little bit. So if you got a gap up on it, say it gaps up like 1% or something like that, let's watch for a pull. But you'll get a reload. People will start to reload somewhere in this kind of zone here. So, it doesn't mean if it snaps back tomorrow that the run is over, but be careful. When a lot of stocks show up on your watch list, you got to really be careful. A couple of things that I thought were important today. Mara finally came out of range, right? This has been like the biggest salute of all time. And it finally came out of range today. This has been, something the traders been watching for quite some time. Huge volume on it, right? You got 100 million shares of volume. So really any type of weak open on this, I think we want to take a stab at this. Let's keep this on the watch list. Beautiful trend today, man. ORB, pullbacks to the 20s, like that's what you want to see, that stair-stepping type of action. Woo! I mean, that's hotter than a goose's caboose right there. You got Riot here. So similar, same sector as Mara, but the big hairy but is that, it's been stuck under the 200-day moving average for quite some time since March. And so now that you're starting to remount this level, and you can see the increase in volume also on this, we have something that could be setting up for, right, a multi-leg move. You don't really have, once you get past and break over this kind of 200-day moving average, you don't have really anything till up here, right? And so you've got a lot of room to back and fill. And I think that's something that is going to get bought up because, number one, it's like it really doesn't even have anything. There's a quadruple banger on this, which is that, yes, crypto stocks were popping today, but also IWM stocks, right? Now that IWM has come out of range, look, the last few times, Riot's kind of tested, the IWM had been stuck inside range. And now that it's, unreleased, right, or released, then, you have much higher probability of this thing really picking up some steam. So let's keep an eye on this one. CLSK also, right? You got just some levels here that are starting to peek through. It's got this big base over here. So let's see if this one gets up, man, they all move together today. If they rest tomorrow, say they're down, so they're up 20% today, say they're down 2-3% tomorrow. That doesn't mean that the move is over, right? When you have such a big kind of 2-day move here, it's very common to get an inside day. An inside day is when you have a big range move, and then the next day, like you kind of open weak, suck in some shorts, but then you don't go down. You might even fake a red to green move, and then you kind of chop around in a tight range, right? So that could be, in the cards. So don't be worried, like if, you get a kind of minus 2-3% day in some of these tomorrow. with the IWM being a little bit long in the tooth right now, on just like a 5-day basis, right? With the IWM being a little bit long in the tooth and the 9 EMA being 10 points away, you're probably going to get a little snap in the IWM. Now, if it doesn't snap, say it just goes sideways. One thing to remember is in a fresh trend, if you get sideways days, like a flat day where the index itself is not really up or down, it's up 1.1%, down 0.2%, something like that, right? In the realm inside its own ATR, you can still get a lot of breakouts in individual stocks. That's what they call stock pickers market, right? You'll have a flat day, and then the individual setups will just start to fire off one after another, but only the quality ones. So it won't be like a rising tide lifts all boats, but the hottest ones will still pick off one after another. So keep an eye on that. A coin has got a big breakout setting up here too. Man, monster trender. We had this a couple times today, off the VWAP and then off the VWAP again, multiple times. And it just had these good ranges. Every time this thing was popping, it was moving $6, $7, $8. That's what you want to see in a trader's market. If you're a day trader, right, you're getting 4 or 5 point chunks, like, off bounces, off support. This is where you make your money, right? It's like pop, shred, pop, shred, pop, shred. You want to be aggressive in this kind of market here. NVAX, I've been searching for these kind of cheapies that could go. I think this one has a chance. You had a big push in this bad boy today. Now, obviously, this company's a big gelatinous turd, but this is the market to try something like this. So add in NVAX. IRBT, this one's been left for dead, right? This was $200. And even then, they had that deal with Amazon. It was getting called off. And so now it's just been really kind of consolidating and marinating here. Not many stocks that are left near the bottom here, right? So today it was up 12%. I had my watch list last night, but, my alerts didn't go off on it for some reason when it broke over the 50-day moving average. This is more upside to it. It may need a rest day on this again because the IWM is a little bit extended, but it's got a good look to it. Hey, into the close, you saw CGC push off too. I normally don't trade these. These pot stocks are the worst stocks in the market to trade. But there was something going on yesterday. I believe, I didn't see what the news was. I believe it was because Trump picked J.D. Vance as like his VP and he smokes pot, something along that. I don't really know exactly how that works, but that was what I had read. So you may see some moves in some of these. I probably won't play these myself, but, a fun little fandazzle. Now, this S is something I'm into. There's a couple of these stocks like S, you got U, that were like really, really hot tech stocks that became kind of small cap, mid cap names that are left on these bottoms here. And so like this U had just a little bit of a rest day today. I think this one and S both have some locations here that could get picked up. Not many stocks left right near these kind of, right, closer to lows than highs. Like this thing was $80, right? And so we're looking for these kind of names and all of this. CVNA, this has been a daily trader for us. Its earnings are coming up in a couple weeks. You got a nice breakout over here. Any kind of weakness on this, I think we want to play. PanW, love the look on this. Out of all the software names, I think this is my favorite. You have the breakout and then this nice flag that's coming post-breakout, digesting it. I want to be in this. If I get some weakness on this tomorrow, I'm going to try to get a little goose and a gander on this one. D-Dog, too. You got a big breakout setting up on this test. Just sitting here in the bone zone and curling its way higher. Like, I think these kind of names are going to get picked up, too. And then, this dreaded, 73 breakout in Uber, which never seems to come. But the dips on it are getting bought if it dumps off and it gets picked back up. So you had a little bit of a reversal candle today. Let's see what this entails for tomorrow. Beyond that, look, I'm probably, the semiconductors and our normal go-tos, they're just kind of stuck in range now. Like, one down day, one up day, one down day. So probably, unless there's some news out, it's probably a leave alone. Like this AVGO did its split finally. And so it's got a setup here. But this is like, they're selling going into these on the pops. And so, it may just need a little bit of a release moment. I would say out of the group, right, AMD's looking the best. But, it's just dipping down and holding. So, I would anticipate this tightens up probably and goes at some point. It's the first consolidation after this move. But, the sector itself is a little bit weak. You saw, right, even NVIDIA kind of, right, they're fading off on spikes right now. It's normal. It happens. You need digestions. And, frankly, it just doesn't matter, right, with so many other stocks going. So let's have a little fun, guys. Let me know if you need anything. I love you guys. Peace.